So in 2018 I bought the Subsequent... In 2018 I bought the Subsequent 37CV, the White Special Edition synthesizer. And this is a synth that's been on a lot of my kind of popular releases, for me at least. The reason I got it in the first place, obviously I wanted to get that classic aggressive kind of Moog sound in my tracks, and it has certainly delivered that. This video is a little mini review of the 37CV and why I have decided to let it go. This synth has also been a great synth to actually learn synthesis on. It's not the most complicated synth out there. It has 2 oscillators, 2 LFOs, filter, envelopes, and some other stuff like arpeggiator, sequencer, and yeah, some other features, of course. But all of these things in this synthesizer just sounds really great together, and it makes it just a really nice, dare I say, fat-sounding paraphonic synthesizer. I think the voice limitation here has kind of made me more creative, because you have to kind of force yourself to make interesting sounds, so perhaps use other ways to create those sounds instead of just stacking chords or creating melodies. I have to play around with the LFOs, envelopes, frequency, beat frequency, overdrive, all of that stuff. Automating it from my DAW, for example, that's something I use or do a lot. It's made the Subsequent a really versatile instrument for me. So just a little fun fact, as I have noticed, as an artist, you have to be on social media, you have to be delivering reels on Instagram and things like that. And I have noticed that when I have reels with actual synths in the shot, as you can perhaps see in the corner there, those videos tend to perform better. So go figure, also a reason to have a hardware synth. People are not really interested to see screenshots of VSTs. One thing I don't like about the synthesizer, it's not actually the synthesizer, but it's kind of the ecosystem around it. It's the integration software. Moog still sells this. It sells this now in 2024. But the software, the VST there, I think is really unstable. Sometimes it just doesn't work. It's not updated for years as far as I can see. I also have a friend having the same synthesizer, the Subsequent 37, and he also has some issues with the software from Moog. Also actually have some automation issues. He had some issues with automating the cutoff knob from his DAW. So there are some strange software issues, and I think Moog really need to up their game here in terms of delivering software that works and it's up to date with the newer systems. A lot of other retailers are good with this. For example, Arturia has pretty good software, I have heard. I haven't tried it myself. I don't use my synthesizers on their own. I don't really play them. I use them with my computer, and of course it works with MIDI. So it works with just general MIDI out. That's no problem. That's stable as it should be. But it would just be nice to see a big manufacturer like Moog also take some care about their software. And I think they actually should try to take the lead here. So I have other reasons for parting with it though. It's not because of the software, but before we talk about that, since you are probably interested in the synthesizer, and it's kind of a little mini review video, I'm going to show you 3 just short music examples with, I'm going to put up the Spotify stream statistics on the side there as well. I'm going to just play a short part of a track I think shows off how I used the Subsequent 37 in that particular track, and one short bonus clip after that. I like watching synth videos on YouTube where people go through factory presets. It's certainly useful to get to know the real raw sound you get out from the box without effects, everything like that. But I also think that showing a synthesizer in a context is interesting as well. So my context is more EDM, kind of progressive house-ish, but if you're not interested that, you can just skip using the timestamps below. So let's check it out and see how it works in 3 types of tracks. So here's the first track. It's Deep Structures, one of my most popular tracks. You can hear the Moog here in the kind of the bridge breakdown. Kind of this pad type of thing. And it goes into the main part here. So usually this type of Moog, you play it, often it shines in the low end, right? You know that, but this is kind of mid-high, I think. I can make some melodies. Okay, let's check out resonance frequency. So resonance frequency, also one of my more popular tracks. It's used as bass here. So this is the Moog. Some melodic parts. Oops, the CPU is crackling here. I guess you get the point. If you want to listen to the track, it's on Spotify. It's called Resonance Frequency, of course. Then we can take a look at one of my other tracks called Stellar Engine, also kind of melodic type of stuff from the Moog. So this is Stellar Engine. This is kind of a space house track, apparently. The Moog is playing a little melody line here, so let's just check it out. When I make these tracks, I occasionally just record automation when I actually record the audio file into the DAW. So sometimes I will automate the filter cutoff or things like that, but I don't like to do that anymore. I just like to kind of vibe with those controls while I'm recording the synthesizer into this project. But yeah, this was 3 projects where the Subsequent 37 has been used by me and has gotten quite a lot of streams on Spotify, at least for my sake, at least. So I hope that showed you a little bit how it can work in real life. Yeah, so that's how I have used the Subsequent in my tracks. It's mostly in the low end there. I am going to sell the Subsequent 37 CV, and I am going to use the funds towards another synthesizer instead. So the Subsequent have playlist parts on this channel. As I said, I have it since 2018, and I think it's time to move on to something else and perhaps get some new fresh ideas in addition to that. Ideally, I would of course like to keep the Subsequent, but you know, these things are expensive. Also, I have limited space here. I don't really have space for a lot of synthesizers, so I think I'm going to go for a main poly synthesizer, and of course I really want the analog one, so I think going for the Moog Muse is what I'm going to do. I have considered looking at the Polybrute 12, but sound-wise, yeah, I really want that Moog sound. Yeah, I'm going to go with the Moog Muse. That way I don't have to increase my mortgage to perhaps get a Moog one. That's a bit too much in my opinion. I would probably, if I'm going to use that much money on synthesizers, I will probably get the Moog Muse, and I really want the OB6, but yeah, I don't know. Maybe the Moog Muse, or perhaps a Mini Freak, maybe from Arturia. We'll see what happens. And when I buy synths, I tend to keep them for a while, but that's not the case with computers. But that's another video. So to get it shipped will probably take a while, since it's out of stock everywhere. Getting a newer batch might also perhaps minimize the risk of getting a faulty unit, since I heard about some issues when I've been looking around on YouTube, but there is no shortage of videos talking about it at YouTube, so there's a lot of people having good units. So since so many people already have talked about this synthesizer, I don't think I'm going to make a lot of videos about it. Maybe a little bit in some production videos and in the EDM space where I tend to be, and kind of showing perhaps when I'm using my in my DAW and on a Mac and PC just to see how it works. But that's at least how I use my hardware gear. So I think that if you're in the market of a analog synthesizer, I don't think you can go wrong with getting the Subsequent 37. And as I said here, it's a great machine to learn synthesis on, in my opinion. I have actually at least learned a lot from having that synthesizer. Moog just need to up their software game a little bit, and then everything is getting good, I think. If you want to follow along, the subscribe button is below here somewhere, and I guess that's all for now. Talk to you later. Goodbye.